Hello, my name is Jalen May. I am the co-founder of Collegiate, and today is our first training video with our guest.
Hello, my name is Miles Watts.
Today we are working on nine ball position. So this drill focuses on getting position for your next shot. So what we'll do is we'll start with the balls with the setup, and we'll have ball in hand for the first shot. Every ball goes into the natural pocket. So, for instance, one ball goes in the side pocket, two in the quarter, three in the corner, so on and so forth. When the six and seven, eight and nine come into play, those are whatever side you land on, you play the opposite side. So, just giving the natural angle. So, I'm going to try my best to run through this real quick. So, here I got out of position. So, now I just set it back up and restart. Miles, if you want to give it a try.
Okay. I messed up.
Okay. So, do you know the reason why you messed up?
Yes, when I shot into it, it didn't come down further enough like I wanted to. I still had a good shot, but I missed, and I didn't know how to. I didn't hit the three like smoothly enough for it to continue going down.
So, for the most part, your position is lacking,
Okay.
right? This is what this drill focuses on. So, everything starts with the first ball. You have a plan in your head of how you want things to go, right? So, you should probably stop it or keep the cue ball somewhere around this area, the pocket two in this pocket. But you don't want to get straight because, if you have to get to the three on the other side of the table, you need to play off this rail. So you always want to
Hmm.
leave an angle. I try to leave my cue ball somewhere where the one ball is at right now, so I can just float it directly over. You can float it over in different ways: top spin, outside spin, draw, center ball. It's all your choice, but making sure you're controlling where it lands. Generally, you want to land somewhere in this area, so you can just go right back over with a four ball. Sometimes you can even land a little straighter, maybe from from the ball to the first diamond is a good angle where you can play off and come back out and land back here, or you can roll forward, come off one rail, come back up. You can come all the way over here. You have a lot of options, but it's all about your first ball, making sure that you're getting that good position to get to your next ball. So this is thinking ahead, planning for two, three balls ahead instead of worrying about only the next ball.
Okay.
So leaving my cue ball where the one ball is leaves me natural angle just to float back over. I'm gonna do a little bit of bottom right. I'm gonna punch it. Normally, cue ball would drop. Maybe it's because of my pockets. We don't know. So this is where that first diamond to the ball line is. So I have two options. I can either stun out, come back, maybe center table, or I can follow it and come back and get still center table. I'm probably going to draw it just because I feel more comfortable. Now I didn't get too ideal, but I still have enough angle where I can go back and forth and still get position for the five. this shot, just really focusing on making that ball. Have a nice clean stroke, land right in position. I got
Okay.
good shape, so now all I'm gonna do is draw back with maybe a little bit of bottom right, just to get the cue ball to come back on this side. So I punched it a little too hard and cheated the pocket. So now just restart.
Okay. You messed up.
Play it too hard. One thing to note when you practice and you go into games is making sure you have an accurate pre-stroke routine and an accurate warm-up routine.
Okay.
Your warm-up routine could be a drill such as this, or shooting straight shots, or just, warming up your stroke just by doing pre-strokes in the air. It could be any method, but getting in a rhythm and starting to build that consistency will help your game a lot. And really focus on your technique, making sure everything stays smooth and consistent.
Give me one
Here
second.
I got a little wonky, so I'll try to play more outside than draw. Try to cut this in. Generally, when I practice this drill, I want to achieve the completion of it at least 3 times, make me feel a little bit confident in my stroke, making sure that I know I'm getting the position I want and making sure that it's not sloppy. Like, yeah, I get the angle, but do I get a good angle? Am I a little straight on the ball, a little too straight? Did I go too many rails? Did I get on the underside? Really focusing on where I'm landing. There, I hit that really good, and I got good distance away from my shot line. Now I can just draw right back out. Now I'm just stun over, really focusing on that placement. Here's the shot again. Gonna use a little bit of bottom inside. Actually, I'm gonna use a little bit of outside. Really try to open up this ball, bring it back around to the second, between second and third diamond. Really focusing on making this ball. This drill is especially good for making sure that you don't fall out of line, especially in 9 ball. You can get stuck behind balls, you get the wrong angle. This really helps controlling your angles. It causes you to focus on your speed. Best thing is making sure you stay off the rails when it comes to getting your position. Once you're on the rail, it's a lot harder to manipulate your shot. Got a little tabling on my table, but it's okay. Would have made that on a diamond table, but I'm not on the diamond table, so I'm gonna restart. The key to success is not being complacent, and when you're sloppy, don't just accept it even if it goes in. Restart. It's okay. This is the time to make your mistakes. Now I know that last one I got the same position. Now I really want to focus on getting good position so I can make that 4 ball. I focused too much on the 4 ball and I missed the 3. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. My mom and the people from my car called me.
Okay.
Okay. What was the last thing you said?
Really make sure when you're shooting these, make sure you're not getting sloppy with your stroke. Shoot it as if this is the finals and you're hill and this is the last ball on table. You make this shot, you're a world champion winning $100,000. If you miss this shot, you just ended your whole career.
Oh, right.
Sometimes it's better to put yourself in that kind of pressure when you practice. So when it comes to your matches, you don't have any pressure. Got a little much, too much angle on this 5 ball, but still manageable. I'm slowly getting there. Just gotta focus on getting better position on this 5 ball. Sit again. So when you're running through this drill, what is your main problem ball?
The three.
So where are you getting on table from one to the two? Where are you laying at to get to the three?
So when I shoot the two, my goal is to try to get like not to go past the seven and still and try to be close to the five. Like but not too far back to where it's difficult to shoot the three in. But I'm also trying to figure out how to get to the four after I shoot the three, if I can even make the three.
So remember, when you're shooting to get position, it's not always about how you get shape for that ball. It's how you get shape for the ball before that really determines how your next shot will be.
Okay.
So if you're playing positioning and I'm getting straight on the ball like this, it's a lot harder for me to move across table, right?
Yeah.
Versus if I'm here, right, I have more of an angle to go across the table to come here. But when I'm straight, now I have maybe this angle if I cheat the pocket, right? If I
Yeah.
come over here, I'm forcing it, but you don't want to force your shot. So you try to play position so you don't have to force it. You can get natural angle by using the rail. So
Okay.
really focus on getting that one diamond space away. Generally, when you shoot these shots, if you stay one diamond out of your actual shot line, you can play natural position for any shot on table. Once you start getting straighter, or once you start getting further out of that shot line, then it becomes harder. See how I'm always trying to play back for that one diamond length?
Yeah.
I'm really focusing on getting the cue ball back close to the center of the table. Try to stay away from the rails.
And when you bump it, if you bump a ball out of position, you also have to start over then too, right?
Yes. Don't
Okay.
don't just accept, oh, I made it and I got position, but I might have bumped the other ball out. Don't accept that. When you're running the rack, you don't say, hey, yeah, I ran this rack out, but I bumped every ball on table just to do it. Right? That's not really being consistent. That's a sloppy rack, right? Yeah, you might be proud you broke and ran, but did you really break and run comfortably, or did you just somehow get out?
This three is really weird.
So really focus on shooting that three in. It's not an easy shot, but it's not
It's
the
not.
hardest shot on table. So once you get done with that, the four and the five are the exact same shot. You don't have to worry about getting that position again because you already know what to do because you did it for the three.
Oh, man. Still see it, but yep. Yep.
See, this shot, I just decided not to go to the rail at all. Just float it across the table and get the exact position I want. Sometimes you can play softer to get that position. Other times, you might just play harder to go one rail and then come back out.
Okay.
But it depends on your stroke. If you're not confident that you can go one rail, or if you can go no rails and just float into position, focus on hitting that rail. It's easier to play to hit a rail than to just play into position because now you have less concern about making exactly where you are instead of you can bounce into that position.
No.
Here I got a little too straight and I'm on the rail. Now, do I try forcing position or do I just roll it in and take where I'm left? Now, really focusing on making this ball. This time, instead of me trying to bring it back, I'm going to try to play, go one rail, two rails, and sit because I know I can still shoot the six ball in the bottom corner and get position for the seven. I got a little too far down than I wanted, but I still got the shot that I wanted. So now, really focusing on making this shot. This is the shot that matters. This shot will get you back in line. Take your time, really focus on making this shot.
Okay. So I have to start over again because I'm on the wrong side of the four, even though I can shoot it down the other end, right?
Yes.
Okay. I finally make the three.
Remember, you don't want to play sloppy position. Really hold yourself accountable to get where you want to be on the table. That's how you start to see more options to run out in your game rather than you say, oh, I have a shot, and you just go for it, not knowing where you're going next.
Okay.
Generally, I'll take this drill and do it for a good 30 to 45 minutes, just running it out. Even when I still do it and complete it 2 or 3 times, it's better to be consistent in this drill and then move on to something than to say, hey, I did it once and now I can move on to another drill because now you're not building that consistency in your game. You're just doing one thing and you say, oh, I can do it, but you don't know if you can do it 100% of the time or even 60% of the time, right? You've only done it once. So really build that consistency. Every time you get down to the table, think I should shoot better than I did the last time. And I got straight again. This time, I have a little bit of angle, so I'm going to just punch it out. I punched it out too far. Every time you practice a shot, you learn from it. If you make it, you learn how to make it. If you miss it, you learn how to adjust to make it. Right? You always are learning from the shot before. Sometimes all it takes to make a shot is to follow through a little bit more than you did the last time.
What do you mean by that?
I can make a shot, but shoot it two different ways. I can do a short follow through and make the shot, or I can do a long follow through and make the shot. Sometimes
Okay.
when you play into a pocket and you're on the rail, a short follow through will go down the rail, but it'll rattle, versus a long follow through will cause that ball to drop. And it doesn't happen all the times, but sometimes you can learn how the pockets play. Sometimes it takes a short stroke to make the ball drop, but that's knowing your tables and knowing how the felt is and knowing how the pockets are. So really learning how to adjust to your tables.
Okay.
So I used a long follow through and I rattled the five in. So now I know shooting that five at that angle to get down for the six, I need a shorter follow through. But that means a shorter follow through, I can't get as much draw because my draw stroke needs to have a follow through. Right? So now I work on getting more spin into play on that shot instead of draw. Now will bring me back to the same position. So from the two ball to the three ball, I'm using a long follow through because I know that cue ball wants to track back towards the center pocket, and then once it hits that rail, it comes out and gives me good position. And all I have to do now is float over it, so I can do a shorter follow through with a three ball. But now I got on the underside because I didn't put enough spin. Right, so now I'm adapting. I know I can put a smaller or a shorter follow through on the three ball to get to the four ball, but I still need to apply more spin to accurately get position. Long follow through. I just hit that ball.
Mm.
This drill also helps with building your endurance because it really causes you to focus. Once you miss, your body starts to take a toll over time. So really focusing on keeping that consistent stroke, keeping your fundamentals down, making sure you don't pop up in your shot, making sure you're actually following through. Nice smooth strokes. The more you stay in your technique, the better your shots are. So I got a little sloppy on the three ball. That's why I missed. I'm gonna go through about three more of these, and then we're gonna switch to another drill.
Okay. Because I'm starting to hurt.
You said what?
And I'm starting to hurt. You're right about the endurance thing.
Really focusing on this three ball. I know this three ball is the ball that really needs to break this rack. So I played into the rail to make sure I potted that. Now it's just routine. And I messed up my routine. I got better position on this fireball, so now all I had to do was just draw it back. But I got sloppy on the floor again. But every time you should see an adjustment that needs to be made, and we make it. And then you'll slowly see how you're getting better at these shots. Even if you're not making it through the whole rack, you're still making it past the ball that you've been struggling with. It's two. All right. Last go around. Obviously, every time I shoot that two ball, I'm never worried about scratching the side pocket because I shot it tons of times to know I'm not going to make it in that pocket. So there's no point of being scared. And focusing on that position for the four ball. Now, I know I missed this one last time, so really focus on making this ball. And the five ball, it's the real struggle shot. And I got the position I wanted, but I missed. So now that I've finished that drill, I'm going to move on to the next drill.
Okay.
Let's do it like this.
What's the next drill?
Hold on, give me a second. Okay. So what you're going to do is going to set up your rolls just like this. From
Okay.
9 to 8 and alternating back and forth on each diamond down the center of the table. So this drill is also for positioning. What you're going to do is you can only pop the balls in these four corners. So what you're going to do is you play position for whatever corner you want for the next ball. You can either stun it, follow it, but whatever half the ball is on, it has to go in one of those two pockets. You can't come on the other side and pot it all the way down there to roll up for the three, right? You have to pot it on either side. So the two balls on this side, so you got to shoot the two balls down on these two corners. You have ball in hand for the one.
Already
Okay,
started my ball.
on position, I got out. So you just roll forward and a miss. Now I restart.
It's not gonna go out.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
What is the key to getting position?
On this drill,
On any drill, any shot, in game, anything, when you're shooting, what is the key to getting position?
knowing how and where to hit and where the cue ball is, where you're trying to leave the cue ball.
Yes and no. The key to getting position is to not be straight.
What?
To not be straight. Never be straight
What?
on a shot. Being straight on a shot will actually hurt rather than help. Because when you're straight on the shot, you have less movement on the cue ball versus when you're actually have an angle, you can manipulate the cue ball to go any way you want because you have an angle. So the key is to not be straight. And the drill we did before this really explains that to a high point. This drill will also help you see that. Because once you're straight, you can only go one way. But once you get too close and you're straight, you can't really do too much with the cue ball.
Yeah.
I got way too far, so I'm gonna just restart. There's no point in me shooting the shot because I know I'm out of position. I can't do much with that shot. And I got too far again.
Mhm.
Restart.
Perfect.
I shot it too far. Now to restart. Do you know why these drills are so important for you not to keep shooting when you get out of position?
That's the easy way out.
No. The reason why you want to restart when you get out of position is because knowing that you can make a ball isn't always the best option. Sometimes knowing when to play safe or not be aggressive is better than shooting a ball and making it and getting out of position again. The most important aspect of your game that you can ever learn is a recovery shot. And we will get into recovery shots in another training. But for the most part, your recovery shot is probably one of the biggest aspects of people's game that should be focused on. Because if you can't stay in position, you have to have a good recovery shot to get back in position to continue running or play safe. And most players like to run the table. So they are required to know how to recover when they're out of position. But knowing how to recover doesn't mean just shooting the ball. It means shooting it well enough to get into position. This is why shooting positional shots is key because if you know how to stay in position, you know how to get back in position.
Okay.
So really focusing on position is key in all aspects of your game, even for safeties. You can play safety by playing position. If I play a positional shot and I miss, but I play to get on the underside of a ball, and now you can't see the ball that I missed, even though I may or may not have meant to miss it, now you are playing safe because you play position. Well, and I rolled a little too far, so I restart. We'll do this two more times, and then we're going to go to one last drill.
Hmm.
So I'm going to do this one more time, and then we're going to go to one last drill. Or, no, I'm going to do two
Okay.
times.
Okay.
Try cheating the pocket, and I missed.
Dang it.
Man, let's start. Okay. The last drill of the day.
Okay. Oh, not the grid drill.
Yes. I know you are very aware of this drill, but this drill is very important. It's really
I
focused
know.
on your skill to really know what your first shot should be. And this is not just for nine ball, but for every aspect of your game. I mean, what shots to take when, and knowing where you should play position for. So I know you're very familiar with this drill, but for those who don't know this drill, this is the grid drill. So you're going to set nine balls up. You can even do it with more. Right now, just the beginner version, just set up nine balls, put them in the middle, so one on each diamond. And all you're going to do is pot every ball in a pocket. You cannot hit the rail or another ball with the cue ball. And all you're doing is going back and forth until you run out. And I shot that way too softly. I haven't done this drill in a very long time, so I definitely need to do this drill. This drill is simple in execution, but once you start to make mistakes, it can get very frustrating.
Yeah.
my table has a lot of lean apparently, so I'm going to need to refill this pretty soon and get it re-leveled. But just means I gotta play a little bit harder, make sure I really focus on getting that position. Oh, and I hit a ball. But I was doing very good on that one. You restart. Oh, I got sloppy. Thought I was already gonna make the ball. This is the point of your game where you start to understand that you really got to have a plan when it comes to shooting. So knowing what your next shot will be is very important. And this is for all aspects of the game. 8, 9, 10, straight pull, one pocket. I got a little weird, but I can make this recovery shot. Get that. And I missed. But as you can see, I'll just run it out just to show that my recovery shot, if I would have made it, would have put me in good position to run out. Nope, and I missed that one too. So the concept of this drill is very easy and simple, but it also will humble you to make sure that you're not taking advantage of the layout, right? You can shoot this the same way every single time and still not get the same result.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this 2 more goes and then we'll start with questions. I don't like that shot. Got a little weird, but I'll use this one to help me. Just float over. Use this 2 ball to really help me get in line. And I got out of line, so restart. Okay, last one. No, I'm not accepting that as my last one. Make sure everything's in line. Just been throwing them back out. One thing to remember when you're doing training like this, it's always good to have table markers down. I currently don't have any table markers, so I'm just going off with my eye, but it's a lot easier to set up your drills the same exact way when you have table markers on the table, or even if you mark your table. So if you're in a common area, you can't really mark your table, so those table markers are good for your training and keeping the condition of their tables good. Oh, not accepting that either. I missed that one because of the pocket, but I'm still not going to accept that. Really focus on making that ball. Yep, part of the pocket. Shoot this 5, hold for the 4. Yep. I'm going to draw this ball back from the 4 to get onto the 3. Perfect. And I'm going to change my initial approach. I'm going to shoot the 8 ball to draw back for the 2 because I didn't get enough angle for the 3. And I got sloppy again. Well, I'm going to run it out. But remember, when you don't get your ideal shape, hold yourself accountable. All right, that concludes the positional drill training for today. Do you have any questions?
No, not currently.
Okay, well, we will resume at a later date. Next, we're going to work on your pre-stroke routine and shot accuracy.
Okay.
And this is our sign off.